This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Okay, I'll ask you because I don't usually, and I should. Do you have anything clever to open the show? Because usually the music's fading down and there's some kind of just thing that I say that just, you go, oh, that's Stu. But I have nothing this week. Got anything?
I do have one thing, but it's not very clever.
No.
But I would like to wish my brother a very happy birthday. My brother and I, we've had a lot of great memories together. Yeah. He is only 2 years younger than me. And I think my fondest memory with him is when my parents brought him home from the vet.
Nice. So you're related to him, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Well, happy birthday to that guy. His name is Jericho. Happy birthday, Jericho.
Happy birthday, Jericho.
Good on ya. So welcome to the show. I'm kind of pissed off this week. Don't know what kind of show it's going to be. There are moments of darkness and sorrow in this week's show. Get ready for that. I always like to give you something to look forward to. If you enjoy this show, like, follow, subscribe, rate it, go on Apple Podcasts, write a review, make it a good one. Tell your friends. 818-570-0753 is the number if you ever want to leave a message. And we always start out with show stuff. So we do this, and the best way we do this is when we talk and we completely forget that there are microphones in front of us. That's hard because you smack the shit out of yours constantly. But aside from that, there's also other stuff that happens. There's so many great moments during a show that happen, and I just like to go over those from time to time. First off, an outtake from last week's show. Here you go.
Talk like an Egyptian.
It's going to be a new favorite around here. So good, let's play it again.
Talk like an Egyptian.
It's always just so fun. It's good to just let her go. You portray yourself sometimes as so reserved and so laid back, and then those things come out, and you have secret antics going on, is what I'm telling people.
There are secret antics. I'm as crazy as a cut snake at times. Just...
And the sayings that you come up with are even better.
Whipping things around.
Yeah.
That Egyptian crack, if it would be, the little impromptu karaoke session, reminds me that we have a treadmill.
And you walk like an Egyptian on the treadmill?
No.
Okay.
I'm not coordinated enough. The story of how I never did dancing as a child is for another day. But we have a treadmill in our basement. And recently, one of my sons has started walking on it in the mornings because the brand of treadmill we have has these guided adventures which are filmed in real life with hosts. And it will take you on treks of really amazing places all around the world. And this morning, my youngest son walked outside and into, metaphorically speaking, sort of virtually, the first pyramid that was ever discovered and where the first Book of the Dead was discovered. And it's so interesting.
I thought you were going to tell me that Susanna Hoffs was involved in some way, and I was going to enjoy that even more because Susanna Hoffs. And, well, good for your boy. You should, he's coming into teen years. You can teach him about Susanna Hoffs. You go, hey, look back here at the 80s, and he'll enjoy that. Anyway. Is there anything there going on behind the scenes that you should tell us about that's happening that we should know?
I am furiously scrolling through the Rolodex of my life right now. I have something I will tell you and I'll tell the viewers, okay? But I recently purchased this, and I want you to guess why. I'm holding up a Sharps container. It's for needles. Do you know why?
I've completely put her on the spot, and she's so reaching for anything because she's thinking that I'm asking her to fill time, and really this was just to lead into a quick thing. So it's
just
great.
A setup.
You're doing your job, but...
but not well.
But anyway.
Wait a minute, let me smack the microphone around.
What is your needle box for? What are you shooting up now?
Not yet, but once my package arrives, absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
I have gotten on the bandwagon of getting
B12.
an injectable GLP-1.
Okay. Oh, those are the fat things?
Well, yes, and...
But you're not a fat woman.
No.
I don't want to do the show with a fat woman. Ooh, gross.
I don't do shows with fat women.
Jesus.
Yeah, good one, Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
But a bunch of my friends who are also women of a certain age have started microdosing it, and it's had a range of benefits for them around mood and, it's not just about weight loss. And so it's interesting. I'm going to try it, and I will give you my updates.
Well, let the record show that Emily is shooting up now. So
yeah. Good times.
So, really, I was just asking you if there was anything going on behind the scenes there because of this little gem that actually happened in last week's show, but I didn't catch it in a big way in last week's show, and we can relive this here.
I'm here to pay for sexual favors.
What was that about?
I'm here to pay for sexual favors.
That's not AI. It almost sounds like AI, but that's legitimately you. And I don't even remember where that came from. But in the fury of trying to fix some other things in last week's show, it was a little bit frantic. I was like, wow, there's that. Better save that one.
Oh, my goodness. I know we've talked about this on the show before, but oftentimes people will repeat back to me things that I have said. And it's like the musical bit that listener John put together. I can't remember saying half of that stuff. And that particular outtake, my memory is completely blank. Just bloop. Can't remember anything about it.
I have no idea. I could go back and find it, but who has time for that? And I don't want you to feel self-conscious or anything. I just, go with what you're going to go with and just know that I'll use it against you because it's fun.
I have zero qualms about having it used against me. Sometimes I do blush a little bit because some of the things that I say are absolutely outrageous. Yeah. And having them played back to me, I think sometimes I cannot believe.
It is the secret part of you, the part that you don't reveal in public. It's pretty great. It's pretty fun. And you say you're a prude, but you're not really a prude. You want people to think you're a prude. Secretly, you're normal or hyper-normal. You're even beyond normal, is what I would say.
Doesn't one cease to be normal once they stray from normal?
I think yes, just by definition.
Right. So then how can one be hyper normal?
I don't know. Just sounded good. Uber normal then. You'd be uber normal.
Okay, let's just change the language. That changes everything.
I'll change the adjective. It'll help. Anyway, so there's the opening fun part. We have other fun stuff, but let's get pissed off, shall we?
Can't wait. It's my favorite part of every show. It's the stewing.
The stewing. Nice. I like that. There are some things that I don't want to talk about just because I don't want to talk about them. And they're just like, fuck, really? But then I feel like if we don't talk about them, people will say, well, why didn't you talk about that? And it is kind of a thing where I don't want people to think that we're ignoring things. The unhappy part of the show, remember last week we had America Fuck Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the Democrats have chosen to completely fuck over our country this week. They voted to end the shutdown, which makes no sense. And I kind of had notes on how to explain it here, but then I also came across this thing on YouTube. It's a couple of guys that do like news reports, their Internet Today. So I thought I would play you a clip of their show that completely and accurately and probably better than anybody runs it down. Here's Internet Today.
Once again, Democrats have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory and not only made themselves and their party into a gigantic joke just 1 week after securing massive Election Day wins that the Senate Democrats seem to have completely ignored when they decided to cave to Republicans on Sunday night. But here we are, getting nothing in return and making the longest shutdown in American history totally and utterly pointless. And up until this point, the public was in agreement, according to polling and the results of Tuesday's election. Things are bad because of Trump. The government is shut down because of Trump and his loyalists. Now, by totally capitulating, Senate Democrats have signaled that they had the power to do this all along. And all of the people who missed meals or travel or paychecks are probably going to be pretty confused and upset because what did they get in return? Nothing.
Yeah, we went from
Who's trying to take away your health care? Trump. Who's trying to take away your food stamps? Trump. Who's trying to take away everything? Trump. And now, who's trying to take it away? Well, both parties. Both parties are doing it. But yeah, the Democrats blinked first. Now you get nothing. But hold on, though. They did get a big briefcase full of IOUs. Yes. And those are as good as cash.
So there's the summary of the situation, and I heard about it, and I was just dumbfounded when they did it. And at first I was like, they cannot have just done that. And then they did, and I was so frustrated because we were making progress. We were so happy. We had America Fuck Yeah the week before. And then I looked into it, and every single senator that voted to approve this isn't up for re-election. And I said, gee, that's a weird coincidence. So something was very clearly orchestrated in this. They were made to vote that way for some reason so that they would take the fall, because there's no fall to take, because they don't have to worry about re-election. And I don't know what that is yet. Something's going to come out. We're going to find out why Chuck Schumer, who is the leader, orchestrated this. I'm convinced that he orchestrated this somehow, and this didn't happen without his knowledge. But it was just like, what the fuck? Why after 41 days would you then go, oh, okay, we surrender. Go ahead. Take us hard, and don't even buy us dinner first. It's frustrating.
It really is frustrating. And I try to think of what would compel them. And I think it's largely around the number of Americans who are terribly impacted by the government shutdown. More than 40 million people.
But we were coming together as a people to help feed these people and taking care of those people. There's that part.
That's true. All of the government employees that weren't getting paid, the TSA, had all been walking off the job. And so thousands and thousands of flights were being missed. I don't 100% know why
I don't either.
They did it. But there must have been significant pressure from their constituents to do it.
I think there's something like somebody was in somebody's back pocket and some PAC was losing money and paid somebody off. And I think there's something way more corrupt than that, because none of it makes any sense, especially after going that amount of time. Maybe that's conspiracy bullshit in my head, but it's just so frustrating.
It really is frustrating. I would have liked to see a better outcome and a better result.
Yeah, we got nothing out of it. We're going to vote on it, they say, maybe in December, and then they're going to say they're going to vote, and if they vote, they're just going to vote no, and then that's the end of it, and they got everything they wanted.
And some of the interesting negotiation points. So, for example, I read last night that a point of negotiation is that marijuana will be made illegal again. Now, this doesn't impact on me personally, but that within the next 2 years that the government would completely roll that back federally.
Who cares? Like, who really cares? This is one of the things Republicans want. It's like, look at something important, you know?
Yeah, like, why is that the move?
I'm so an anti-stoner, but I don't care. Go smoke pot. I don't care.
Right?
It doesn't impact me.
It doesn't impact me. Although sometimes it does impact me. So
smoking a lot lately?
No. Not on purpose.
Okay.
But if you drive down any freeway or highway, it's the odor Atlanta. Like it stinks of pot. And I often have to turn the recirculate on, not to keep the pot in the car, but just before I drive down, because otherwise my kids are like, what's that smell? What's that smell? It's because it's just billowing out of cars.
Yeah, I'm all for enforcing it not being done in public, the same way we can't have people walking around with booze in public. You can do that. You can make sure people are not smoking it while they're driving. And if they go out and they're stoned and they drive, arrest them. Do that. But it's not an important thing to me. Feeding people and having an actual economy is a much better way to go. And being able to fly without crashing into the ground is a better way to go.
100% agree. It's a travesty.
And I used to have a radio friend. The thing that I immediately thought of was my radio friend that had this phrase. And I'll play this clip from a movie because he would use this phrase over and over. And I looked it up, and it's from the movie Days of Thunder, which I think I've never seen. But this was his favorite phrase when something would go wrong. And here's the clip. And interestingly enough, this vote from the Senate happened on a Sunday. So it makes it even better.
We messed up big time on Sunday. I had sponsors in the stands, and I'm hugging and holding hands and kissing them in the ear and praying for a good showing. And what do? We end up looking like a monkey fucking a football out there.
So there you go. It's a good phrase. Or we're like a monkey fucking a football. It's just such a great visual, and it says so much.
Oh, my.
And I don't know if you heard, but there's new Epstein letters that they just found this morning. And Trump is being described as the dog that hasn't barked. And they say he spent time with the victim or a victim. And it's promising, but it's still not the smoking dick gun that we need. I don't think there is any smoking dick gun. I think they could show video of him fucking a 10-year-old and her going, stop, I'm under 11 years old, help me. And it wouldn't be good enough for the Republicans because that's how corrupt and shitty they are.
I agree. I also believe that there are tens of thousands of hours of video of all of these famous people doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And one day somebody will find them and release them.
And then we're going to have to prove for 18 months that that's not AI generated and that it's legit. And then they'll write it off in some other way. And it's just frustrating. And I'm not saying somebody kill him, but I want him to die. I just want him to die painfully in a lingering way for about 3 days. I'm not saying somebody do that to him. I'm saying I want him to die. That would be a personal wish of mine.
I think that nature is going to take its course at some point. He is the oldest president this country has ever had, and he is plagued by health issues.
Yeah.
I think he's got a frequent visitor card for MRI inspection, one more, and he gets a free gold toilet. But he's not a well man, certainly not mentally. Did you read one of his, I don't know, what is it, a truth post, a truth social post,
Truth
an
Social,
X post, whatever it is, some sort of social media word vomit? I'm not going to be able to repeat it for you verbatim, but the general gist of it is that he's screaming, again in all caps, that Democrats are trying to tell people that he's not going to let fat people into the country, okay? And that we're just going to not allow any fat people. But, Stu, don't worry, because that's not true. Instead, what they're going to do is not allow severely overweight people who would be a drain on the healthcare system to get visas. And soon, they will be extending that to expats. So they won't be issuing visas. Oh, at one point he said they will have to trim down before they're able to get a visa.
Well, shouldn't you lead by example? That would be my first question. Shouldn't you not be 270 pounds of dumb fuck before you're making those kind of declarative statements? That would be my thought. But, oh, well, why go with logic? And, yeah, I saw that headline but didn't read it, and thanks for bringing that up. And there's just so much hypocrisy. And those people that don't get in, he'll then just let in all the, what is it, the white nationalist African people that have been discriminated against in their country. There's that whole other side of it that I don't really remember the details
in
of.
South Africa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how he wants to have the white refugees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they're just being so put upon, and it's like a whole genocide over there. Just shut up. Just do what's right.
Yeah. It is true what is happening there, by the way. So white farmers being murdered and having their land taken back and everything. However, I wonder why he chooses to focus so far from home. We have millions of people with food insecurity, homelessness, who cannot get access to life-saving medications. People can no longer afford their healthcare. The calculations that are coming out now through open enrollment and some of the things that I'm hearing from my friends and how much their insurance is going to go up is absolutely astronomical. And I know that we've spoken about it on the show earlier in terms of what the estimates would be, but It's what's actually happening, and it is horrific.
Yep. Well, the difference is those people over there, they're white, so that makes a difference. And all these other people that need to leave our country, even though they are good people, they're brown, and we can't have that. And that fuels the fire for all the hatred. And here is the super dark part of the show. I will play this for you. And this is something that really bothers me. And the first time I watched it, it made me cry. This is Manny. Manny is 13 to 14 years old. He has braces, big curly hair. He's a happy kid. The one problem is Manny has brown skin. And this is Manny testifying in a city council meeting in Hillsboro, Oregon, where they are asking their city council to protect them, their citizens, their people from ICE. And try to get through this. It's really hard, but we'll do it.
Hello, my name is Manny. I just wanted to tell you guys and say that I really hope you guys do side with us and you guys really do hear what we're saying for you guys, because all of us here are actually trying to fight for what's right and fight for our rights. And I just want to tell you guys that I'm scared for my parents to walk out there. To walk out their house, because I might not be able to say goodbye to them if they go to work. I might not ever be able to say bye or see them again if you guys don't side with us. And I'm scared because of it, because they fought so hard to come here and choose a life for their kids. And I really hope you guys do hear what everyone in this room has been saying, and I hope you guys do side with us, because we are fighting for our rights. And we are getting treated like animals because people judge us by the color of our skin and the way that we talk. And we have a president that acts like a child and doesn't side with us because of the way he thinks about us. And we have a police department that doesn't do anything about us, and that we are here fighting more than they are. So I hope that you guys actually do hear what everyone in this center is hearing or talking about, so you guys can side with us and listen to what everyone's saying, because everyone is scared. I'm scared that I'm never going to be able to see all my friends again. I'm scared that their parents are going to be gone one day. I'm scared that all of us are going to have to fend for ourselves. I'm scared that one day at school that I'm going to get held by people that I don't know, people that are covered, people that I can't identify because they wear masks and they don't properly ID themselves. I'm scared that everyone that I love I'm not going to be able to see them again, because even though that they're U.S. citizens, they don't care about us. They treat us like dogs. They treat us like animals. No one here cares about us because of the color of our skin. So I'm asking you guys, every single one of you guys that are sitting up here, to actually hear us and do something about it, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of telling my mom and dad every day after school that, have you seen the new video of ICE pulling someone over because of the color of their skin? I'm tired of everything. And I hope you guys really do something about it, because I really do want something to change, because I should not live like this as a 16-year-old. I shouldn't be scared. I should be focusing on school, and I can't even focus on school.
So play that for any of your asshole friends that are underplaying this, that don't think any of this is a big deal. Play that for people that you know that are just willing to sit on their ass and not get involved in anything, because that is exactly the same as the stories people were telling when the Nazis were rampaging, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Perhaps there's less violence in public. It's just the violence is being more hidden when people are being held out of view. And it's terrible and shitty, and somebody should be standing up, and nobody is. Nobody in our government is, anyway.
And some of the people that I talk to who think that this is a good thing don't believe the negative stories. They don't believe that US citizens are being detained. They don't believe that US citizens have been killed.
How do they rationalize that? How do they say that that's being reported?
That it's fake news.
Okay.
Yeah, and that if US citizens have been detained, that they've been let go quickly. However, we know that many have been deported.
Yeah, and even the U.S. citizens being detained, that's enough right there. That is fucking illegal and against our Constitution. Even if people are being arrested and let go, that is so against everything that is legal in our society. That's never supposed to happen.
It's never supposed to happen. But I have heard people say, well, they must have done something wrong. They must be part of the drug smuggling, or they must be part of human trafficking or something. They must have done something really wrong. The government's not stupid. They would have, made this decision because of something those people have done. But we know that that isn't true.
Right. We see it. We see the reports. We see people talking. We see people who have family members that are legal citizens that have been detained and they still don't know where they are. And people have gotten killed that are innocent people, but fake news. That just fucking explains everything.
Well, and again, I'm probably going to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but where are all the kids that went missing at the border? I know we've stopped talking about it, but we had 2,500 children who have never been found. They were separated from their parents and they've never been found. What do we think is happening? What do you think people are doing to the children that are left abandoned when they take all of their parents? Who's taking care of these kids? How are we keeping track of them? Or is something terrible happening to these little kids?
Well, Emily, you should just trust our government and trust that our government is doing the right thing. And even though stuff is happening behind the scenes and we're seeing pictures of concentration camps where those children's families are being held in terrible, horrible conditions that are like World War II, you should just trust our government because they're going to do the right thing. And anything else they tell you is fake news.
It's so terrible. My sons were watching YouTube or something, and they've started getting promoted the ICE recruitment ads.
Yeah, people are boycotting Spotify right now, and I don't know how we boycott everything we need to boycott because that spot is on radio, it's all over TV, and I actually called the general manager of the local ABC affiliate because I was offended by those fucking bullshit Kristi Noem spots that are running, and I just got no call back. She's just not going to deal with it. But, it's funny if enough people make a financial statement like they did with Disney and ABC over Jimmy Kimmel, then at least that gets their attention. But it's just organizing people to get together enough and give enough of a shit and get off their ass. General people are the problem in this too.
Yeah, absolutely. It is ridiculous. But then also now they've hurt enough people trying to intervene or bear witness that no one is safe. I think we've already talked about it on the show, but there was a guy, I think it was up in Illinois, who witnessed them pulling over a car, having a conversation with the occupants. And he has gone to let them know, hey, just so you know, this is a bus stop. There's going to be a bus load of kids getting out here. And then for his troubles, he was shot in the back as he was driving away. And they made up some bullshit story about how he was trying to run them over. Yeah, okay, cool. If he was trying to run them over, why was he shot as he was driving away? It's
because they're just going to make
nonsense.
up stories and that gives them clearance to do whatever they want. And then we're going to get to a point where we're not going to be able to not fight back, but they want us to fight back because then they can say that it's a war zone and then they can bring in the military. But how do you weigh what's bad enough to really fight against? I guess I'm saying at what point is that going to happen because it seems like it's going to happen. But how do you weigh at what point you fight back?
Yeah,
in a big way. Here's maybe a naive thing that I thought of earlier, and I don't know if it's even doable to organize, but I saw ICE in a neighborhood getting kicked out by just hordes of angry people. And the thing that I noticed was that people that were driving that were citizens around ICE were just laying on their horns as they were driving, just,
oh my gosh.
And they just would not stop. And I thought, you know what? If anytime ICE was in a neighborhood, anybody driving just laid into their horns and left it going as a signal to, hey, ICE is in the neighborhood, everybody run for your life because these fuckers are here. If everybody knew to do that, that might be a good way to go. But how do you get the word out about that?
I think we could use the same method as what they do, which is social media, I guess. But I just don't know. And it's so scary. I am terrified, not just for my children, but I'm scared that they'll get caught up in some sort of ICE raid bullshit and be scarred for life. Imagine a school bus getting pulled over and having masked men come onto it and then take your friends, rip your friends off a school bus, or come into your school during carpool and be pulling over parents and children, cars being abandoned. Just no people should have to witness that. And then watching people being terribly beaten as well. They're not just arresting them, they are beating them while they're arresting them.
Yeah, because they're brown and they have no rights and there's going to be no trouble over it. And who cares? They don't look at them as human
scary.
beings is really the trouble. They don't look at them as anyone's family. Justice would be, and this doesn't make sense and it isn't right, but if it was their mother or father they're being beaten or their sister or brother they're beaten, they would understand it and then they would connect it.
And we've talked about this on the show before, which it's the othering of people that then, if they're successful in doing that, people accept horrible treatment. If you turn the perception of people into less than animals or pests that need to be exterminated, people will go along with it. And I think the most horrific and scary thing, we keep talking about and making parallels between what happened to instigate the Second World War and what happened with Hitler. But to your point, that happened because people allowed it to happen.
Yep.
Everyday citizens allowed it to happen.
As we're doing right now.
They voted for him.
As we did right now.
Exactly.
Yep. I just don't understand how you look at any other human being and not recognize them as a human being. I don't understand how you can do that. And I can rationalize it to myself by saying, well, I've been more exposed to different cultures. I lived in a neighborhood that was 70% Hispanic, and I got to know those people and spend time with those people. And I'm more educated because I know how they are and I know they're good people. That shouldn't matter. You should still be able to recognize that people are people and you don't treat them shitty. And even if these were animals, in a lot of cases, you wouldn't treat them so poorly.
No, absolutely. And people are people, as you say. And people of all different races are just as likely to commit crime as white people. Okay, there's no difference at the rate or the types of crimes that are committed, by the way. The only difference is the policing of it. It's
and if you
ridiculous.
really want to be exploitive and shitty, I can look at so many instances of fucking white trash people that they have certain stereotypes that just are disgusting to me. Redneck, this, dipshit, that. There's so many ways to make them look bad and make them look undesirable, but they've been grandfathered in because they're white people. People are people, and get around it.
Yep. But they're trying to get us to look down. The government wants people to look down or across the aisle at different people. We are but peons, right? If you look at the wealth distribution, the majority of the population earns, has an average
median income, whatever.
Well, not the median income, but the total, net worth. There we go. Ding,
Okay.
ding, ding. Has a net worth of $200,000 or less in terms of all of their belongings, everything. And I mean, that's still a lot, right? And then there's a small percentage that goes up to $1 million. But 200,000 and less is the majority of the population. But the billionaires, they are trying to convince us all that the reason that we are poor or that we're not doing as well as them is because someone else down here with us is the crux of our problem. That, we'd have better jobs if the immigrants weren't taking them or, whatever. It's absolutely insane. And, back in, if we go all the way back, in the Scooby-Doo time machine, back to when we had enslaved people in this country, people with dark skin and people with light skin perceived each other as the same. But then over time, media, the government tore us apart and tried to pit us against each other. Because while we're busy fighting with each other down here, we're not looking at what they're doing.
And I don't even think it's big corporate America with some evil conspiracy plan, but I do think it's big corporate America in the back pockets of politicians who, as the decades have gone by, are looking to take care of the big corporations and have manipulated all this into becoming what it's become. And we're going to end up like India or something, where you have people just living on the streets in shacks because the rich are rich and the poor are super poor. And that's what we're headed towards, unless somebody gets some balls and starts to stand up in a big way. And we need revolts and we need to shut down the economy.
And we do have what you're describing now already in parts of the United States. Just head on over to Seattle for a little while, like what's been happening over there. And that's not the only place in our country, but this vast homelessness and these sort of tent cities that are popping up everywhere. And it's winter now, and it's been unseasonably cold, and now people are going to start dying.
Yep. But lucky here in California, there's plenty of room for them. And when I left LA, that was starting to get really bad with that. And that's the kind of thing that you say, somebody do something, not in my backyard, I don't want this, but at the same point, you try to be empathetic to people. And it all is just, if we took some of that money that big corporate America is getting tax breaks on, it could pay for all of this, but nobody's willing to fight for that, because then we have the Democrats that are willing to sell us out on a vote for health care that they've been fighting for 40 days. And perhaps money is behind that. I don't know. I would suspect it is, because usually that's the case.
Money is behind everything. If we just decreased the amount of tax break that we gave to these big corporations, if the big corporations just paid some tax, it would make such a big difference. Why is the common man having to foot the bill on the entire government? And these massive corporations and the individuals who get rich off the back of them don't have to pay tax. And even if we look at the way that policing happens, most police departments and beat cops, etc., and I don't know about it 100% in this country, but I know that it happens in my home country, they have revenue targets. So they are incentivized to go out and book people and charge fines, which doesn't make sense to me. Aren't we supposed to be protecting and serving?
Yeah, protect and serve. Separate people from ICE when ICE is in the neighborhood. That's the thing I mention nearly every week now, and it's just amazing to me that that's not happening. Whoever's running for office, make that something that you're going to fight for, and I bet you'll win. I bet people want to be protected.
Absolutely. Yeah. The local constabulary should be protecting its citizens from these federal thugs.
Okay, well, I didn't know that dark part of the show was going to go on forever, but as is often the case, we find good things to say. Going to move on now to happy stuff.
Whee!
Ready for some happy, kind of weird news?
Let's get happy.
Yeah. Honeycomb's big. Yeah. Do you know about Honeycomb cereal?
No, but does it have a picture of a bee on the front?
It might, depending on what year you're talking about. Honeycomb cereal has been around forever. I remember it when I was a little kid, and this came out in the news. A woman is suing Post Cereal for over $5 million because she says her Honeycomb cereal box had fewer servings than expected. The New York woman accused the company of having a false and misleading label, and I guess the family-sized box had one serving fewer than it was supposed to, and she may have a point in that may be legitimate. But here comes the bullshit. The woman's attorney said that the client has suffered injury due to the alleged loss of the Honeycomb box being misbranded. They say that she suffered damages because she cannot rely on the products for future purchases. And that's why that is worth $5 million.
I
It's all that shrink sizing and mislabeling and shit, and that is its own story. But $5 million, really?
fuck all the way off,
Yeah.
you absolute fucking spatula. Many questions,
All right.
few thoughts.
Yeah.
Phase 1.
Yeah.
Who the actual living fuck is measuring out their cereal in hope of catching the cereal company? This bitch needs to get a fucking job, because if she's got time to meter out and weigh everything that she is bringing into her home, she needs a hobby or she needs a job.
And she's one of
Ridiculous.
those people that looks for lawsuits, obviously, and that's what's going on here. And maybe her thing is actually legitimate, but her
Sure.
need to sue for $5 million is ridiculous. And then the
is ridiculous.
subplot here is, have you ever had Honeycomb cereal? Do they have Honeycomb in your land?
I don't think so. No.
Well, Honeycomb's big. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's not that big. Apparently it's one serving size too small.
That's
So
why it's
maybe,
ironic.
It's maybe medium sized.
I remember the commercials from when I was a little kid, and they've always had these commercials year after year after year, and I will play one for you now. And then you think, oh, okay, Honeycomb's big. Yeah. Maybe this woman has a point, but I'll play this for you from the 60s or late 70s maybe. But there's this big woman coming in on roller skates here, and she's going to the Honeycomb hideout.
Come to the Honeycomb hideout.
I'm Big Betty the Blonde Bomber, and I
She's
want...
really Big Betty the big boobed blonde bomber. She's got this big tight sweater thing on. I looked it up, and I guess she was a real roller derby person. This Big Betty person.
Come to the Honeycomb hideout.
I'm Big Betty the Blonde Bomber, and I want a big cereal.
Honeycomb's big.
Yeah.
It's not small.
No.
Honeycomb's got a big bite. Big taste and a big bite.
Right. A good breakfast featuring post honeycomb cereal gives you a
Big bite.
it tastes right.
Honeycomb bite. It tastes right.
Well, Honeycomb's big. Yeah. Maybe this woman has a legitimate lawsuit, and it bums me out that you have never been to the Honeycomb hideout.
I mean, I don't know if that's what we still call it, but...
Oh, well.
I think that people who take issue with stuff like that are not okay.
Yeah.
And it should be one of the Total Babble interview questions. We should ask people, when we open up one of our great companies from our awesome business ideas. Okay, as a part of our hiring and intake process, we should have a list of questions that helps us to determine if these people are fucking psychos or not. And one of them could be what is it? It's a behavioral-based question, and it's a scenario that you make up that they may never have been in before, but you want to see how they say that they would behave. And we could throw some of the classics in, like this one. You purchase a family-sized box of Honeycomb cereal, and you weigh it out, serving by serving, only to discover that it has one less serving than advertised. What do you do? Anybody who says, I'm going to write a letter, or I'm going to sue, or, I'm going to put a bomb in the post or whatever, those people, not okay. If somebody goes, who fucking cares? You're in.
Okay, but, and I'm just being honest here,
I know you would do it.
might take it back to the store or write the company. I wouldn't sue for $5 million. That's ridiculous and not worth anybody's time. But I have a general thing that if somebody is trying to screw me, I'm going to fight against that, even if they're trying to screw me a little bit.
I think that's fair. I think returning the product or writing a letter or posting on social media or something, I think that's within bounds. That's okay.
Right.
Give them the opportunity to improve. I think what's really gets me, and the part that just made my brain start going, destroy, is where she claimed personal injury.
Yeah.
And that is the basis.
It scarred her forever. She's never going to be able to trust again.
Scarred her forever.
Yeah.
Far out. I wish someone would insert that fucking box inside her and send her on her way. Just pack her box, fucking idiots. Anyway. Maybe, I don't know why I'm so angry about this, but let the hate flow through.
Well, because it's
Luke.
unnecessary and
ridiculous.
stupid, and the $5 million part is ridiculous. And we both know that she's doing the $5 million because she's hoping they're just going to settle and give her something, and she gets something out of it because she's entitled, and everybody's entitled to something.
She's so lazy. Just get an OnlyFans like everybody else. Just get
Show
to
it off
work.
and be like Betty the big boobed I can't say Betty
Blonde
the big
bomber.
big Betty the big boobed blonde bomber. God damn it, that's hard.
Close enough.
need to
A
work
lot of
on that.
alliteration. there.
That's why I did big boobed, because big boobed is part of the B alliteration. I thought that'd be fun. I just can't do it. It's not in my head.
What is it? The big boob blonde bomber. And
Big Betty, the big boobed blonde bomber.
Is it just Betty or is it also Big Betty?
She said she was Big Betty. And you can look her up. She was a roller derby queen or something in the 70s.
Have you ever watched roller derby?
I did when I was a really little kid. It used to be on like afternoon, not reruns. I guess it was current, but afternoons I would see it and I was like, what is that about? Nothing in it for me. It's sports. I've never been into sports.
It is a fascinating thing. I've watched it. I don't understand it. Okay, I do not understand it for love nor money.
Something about the laps.
Yeah, it's the laps and they have like all of these moves. And they're like wrestlers. They all have personalities and names.
Yeah.
And they're on teams and they have amazing rock star haircuts. And they're these bruisers. They're just these amazing women. So women I used to play rugby with did roller derby.
Oh, wow.
And it had this resurgence in the early or mid 2000s. And people would go and watch it live. It was
I
like
kind of
a
remember
whole
that.
thing. Yeah, so interesting stuff. I don't know if it's still around.
Yeah. She had some gas there. Emily just had some gas. Mid-sentence, something comes
There's
up.
something about this show that just moves me
It does. It's
in my
helpful.
bowels.
It's like a audio laxative. That's what you got. I realize this is kind of the food portion of the show because I'll go to this story.
Oh, go on then.
You ever kill somebody or rob a bank with a bag of Doritos?
Not yet.
Yeah, all right. Well, this person might be the first.
Yes, you. Come here. Keep your hands on your head. Keep walking towards me.
Baltimore County Police handcuffed and searched a high school student after his school's security system, which is powered by AI, flagged the teen's empty bag of chips as a possible firearm.
I was just holding a Doritos bag like this. It was two hands in and one hand out and one finger out. And they said it looked like a gun.
Kenwood High School student Takai Allen said he was waiting for a ride home with friends after football practice when about 8 police cars showed up at the school. He said at least one gun was pointed at him.
They searched me and they figured out I didn't have nothing. Then they went over there to where I was standing, fell the bag of chips on the floor.
Okay, I'm realizing that I am having trouble understanding him because I think he might be the illegitimate son of Shaquille O'Neal. You ever hear Shaquille O'Neal talk? Hey, I played the basketball and I had Doritos. It's this kid. I'm thinking Shaq's mom got with somebody.
Or maybe Shaq's dad. He's a mumbler.
Oh, there you go.
I had nothing. Then they went over there to where I was standing, fell the bag of chips on the floor.
A district spokesperson said the district security department canceled the alert after confirming there was no weapon. But Kenwood principal Kate Smith didn't immediately know that and reported the matter to the school resource officer who called local police for support. The incident is leading some Baltimore County officials to call for a review of how the high school uses the AI gun detection system.
You fucking
It was a scary situation. It's nothing I've been through before.
Baltimore County's superintendent said reviewing the system and security, quote, is part of our regular practice. Meanwhile, Omnalert, the company that makes and monitors the security system, expressed regret over the incident, but said, quote, the process functioned as intended to prioritize safety and awareness through rapid human verification. CNN has asked Baltimore County Police for comment.
And they've gotten no comment yet. So I have many thoughts here. Basically, AI sucks, and it thought this kid's Dorito bag was a gun, and it called the cops out to his dorm or whatever it was. And I think part of me thinks, hey, at least there's some racism here. It's a black kid. Did they need that many police cars? And all these people showed up, all these cops showed up to make sure that his Doritos bag wasn't a gun. And then I think, okay, that's terrible and shouldn't happen. And the AI sucks. But then I have to ask I advocate for the devil question. If it's saving a life, does that make it worth it? I'm not saying it does. I'm asking the question.
I think in that news report, it also shows the footage. So I reviewed the footage as well when this came out, and you can very clearly see that it's a bag of chips and not a gun. And so when they said they reviewed the footage, I'm calling bull to the fucking shit, because no human reviewed that footage before they sicked the cops on him. And if you want to create a recipe for disaster in this country, call the cops on a black kid.
That's true.
Because, and I know you're asking the question, if it saves a life, is it worth it? Well, maybe. But what if it kills a kid who just had a bag of chips? And then it is absolutely not worth it. I do like the rapid response. Now, most schools, most middle schools and high schools, at least where I live, they have a full-time cop at the school who's just there all day, every day.
Way to employ people, America.
Yeah. And they take care of the kids. And I'm actually all for it because...
based on our culture, yeah, we shouldn't need it, but we do.
But we do. But also, there's a positive side to it, right? It gives our kids positive interactions with the police. And also the police get to know our kids. And so should they ever be out and about making a mistake, that it's likely that the cops in the community would know our children and aren't just going to kill them for fucking around in a car park or something, or a parking lot, whatever we call it here. So I think there's like two sides to it. But the AI needs to be trained better, because the next time that happens, it might not end well.
Yeah. Kid could get killed. And you're absolutely right that when you look at the video, it doesn't look like a gun. It looks like a bag of Doritos. But also the people responding to this don't have time to look at that and go through that. So then you have to go back to, okay, what is the answer there? And you have to kind of err on the side of being overly protective and hoping the kid doesn't have a gun, but that still doesn't make it right. And I think there's probably no real good answer here other than the fact that the AI sucks.
The AI sucks, but there has to be a human verification. So everybody who uses AI knows that it is not 100% reliable, prone to hallucination, and its outputs need to be checked by humans. It is incumbent, at least in my belief, upon the administration at the school to review and verify before intervening or calling the police. They could have dealt with this without calling the police. Because the other thing too is now you've scared a bunch of kids that didn't need to be scared. You've now had a very negative interaction with the cops where our kids shouldn't have to be faced with negative interactions of the police, because it becomes this self-fulfilling cycle. Cops are bad, we don't trust cops, blah, 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 blah. It's because stuff like this happens. I hope that they fix this AI.
I'm kind of in between. I feel like maybe there's not time to assess this before calling the cops, but I also kind of feel like, okay, AI detects something, the cops are called. Maybe somebody at the police station could be reviewing the footage as the cops are on their way, at least. I think maybe that's a decent compromise, but it's being too overly aggressive in this, but also trying to do the right thing. There's got to be a middle ground there.
There absolutely has to be a middle ground. And I think about combining this surveillance system with something that I don't think that I agree with, which is armed drones being deployed at schools.
No.
Have you heard about this?
I haven't, but it sounds bad.
Oh my God, yes. So in Florida, of course it's in Florida, drone technology that assists responders for school shootings is being trialed, okay? It's a Texas-based system called the Campus Guardian Angel, right? A trial's being rolled out. I think it's in 3 Florida school districts. after everyone's favorite supervillain, Governor Ron DeSantis, approved it. And the drones can be deployed within 5 seconds, and then they go out and they have enough explosive in them. They're stored in these secure boxes on campus, but they can, oh, hello, a video started. Because I'm reading an article here.
I gotcha.
But they can be coordinated by tactical experts. They feed live video to police to show exactly what's happening and where the suspect is, and they can even smash through windows with a glass punch to create distractions.
And that leaves law enforcement to really have no responsibility when something goes bad. Oh, we're sorry that kid got killed, shot in the head that was completely innocent. It was the drone. Sorry about the AI again. It wasn't a person, so sorry.
Exactly. So imagine if you've got a school that deploys both of those things and the AI tells the drone when to be deployed. And poor little mate, the mumbler, has had his head blown off by a fucking robot because science. It's terrible.
He's just
And people are
collateral
lazy.
damage. We're really going with safety for our kids. He got in the way. We'll write another one off. Oh, well.
And the loss of one life is one too many.
Yep.
I don't believe that collateral damage in this direction is justified. I mean, I don't really believe in collateral
It
damage at all.
shouldn't be, but during COVID, we normalized collateral damage, and all the right-wing dickheads that wouldn't wear masks said, well, everybody's got to die at some time. Oh, well, sorry, it got him. Well, that's when we normalized people dying, and it's fine now. It just happens. And even though you had another 20 years on your life and you were going to have 20 great years with friends and family and loved ones, everybody dies at some time. Sorry, it got you early. That's the mentality of a lot of those people when they write it off.
When they write it off, I think it's very easy for people to write things off when it's not happening to them. I think you said that earlier in the show.
Yep.
And we read the news and act like it's so far away from us. It's so distant. You know, people read that article and they're like, oh, it's happening in Florida. That's the opposite side of the country to me. That'll never happen here.
To things being so fucked up and somebody finally doing something about things was because it was affecting so many people. And the Democrats finally stood up to people for 40 days and then just decided to sell us out, even though they kind of had the advantage and we were doing good things. So we started it. We just can't finish it as a society.
Yeah, I'm now giving myself waking nightmares about when those armed drones will be deployed by ICE or by the government against
You ever see the
us
movie
as citizens.
RoboCop?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. He was, if I remember, he was the guy that was out doing the right thing, but all the automated robots were just killing everybody. So it could happen.
Well, and Minority Report, you know, some of this stinks of Minority Report. It's, you know, the Future Crimes Department predicting who's going to commit a crime and going after them before they do. And I don't think we're too far from that sort of insanity.
It's true.
Either.
I've got a story of the FBI visiting a guy who made a bad post and him standing up to them that we can
yes. Let's
play
do
that
it.
next week. And also, God damn it, we didn't get to smelling animal assholes at art galleries. We missed that this week. So there's plenty to come back to here on the Babble.
Plenty to come back to on the Babble.
And I don't want to leave on a down note. It feels like we had a little bit of happiness with the roller derby woman, but then also we had just a lot of serious stuff. And I don't want to end the show on a down, unhappy note. So I will give you this.
Talk like an Egyptian.
Fuck yes.
Do you have any jingles that you remember outside of the Honeycomb one that just like always comes into your head randomly?
I'm sure if they came up, I would remember them. They were beaten into my head for so many years. I hate singing jingles. It's a personal aversion, but they're also in there because that was the biggest thing when I grew up in the late 70s and 80s. Those were huge. And when I did radio, I used to get into fights with our program director because he wanted to put singing jingles on the radio station. Q96. Oh, fuck off with that. Just, God damn it. Give me somebody with a meaty voice that says good things about your radio station, but don't give me Q96. Oh.
What about introduction songs and music for television shows?
What do you mean?
The Brady Bunch.
Oh,
Go.
yeah. And we've got a whole list that we just have never gotten to of these are songs that everybody knows all the lyrics to. And there's about 100 of them or something. We'll talk about that at some point. And a lot of those commercial and TV shows are in there too. So there's plenty of fun to have.
There's plenty of fun to have. Do you remember, did McDonald's do the promotion here for the triple cheeseburger where you could get a free one?
I don't know.
So there was a limited edition burger called the triple cheeseburger that was served at McDonald's. And if you learnt the tongue twister and you just went up and screamed it in the cashier's face, they would give you a free burger. Okay? You could only get one a day.
Yeah.
However,
yeah.
Choose the cheesy cheese that the triple cheese lovers choose when they choose a cheese in the triple cheeseburger at McDonald's.
Wow. Somebody was poor and looking to get a free burger every day.
And that person was me.
Two all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles on a sesame seed bun.
Woohoo! Big Mac. Nailed it.
There you go. I remember that. All right.
Remember that.
We've been brainwashed. Everybody have a wonderful week. It's going to be joyous and happy, and please live it.
Live it.
Yeah.
Live it. Live it.
Live it. Live it.
Live it.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.